I would imagine that there is a part of you that knows you're destined for bigger and better things. Why not, right? I believe that your ability to communicate who you are is going to help you get there faster and more effortlessly. So if you're in your professional life and you're looking around and there are some people who just manage to share their opinion around the boardroom table, or they have no problem going up to their boss and asking for that new raise, or perhaps they want to interview for that next big job opening, but there's that little thing that's holding you back, then now is the time to really exercise that muscle. How you do this is to play around with the notion that you can be a brilliant communicator and be unafraid. But as I mentioned earlier, you have to do it when the stakes are low. We do not want to wait for those big moments when you have your job evaluation at the end of the year, or when the chairman of the board has come flown in and you want to share your opinion when all the heavy hitters are around the table. Not really. Those are not the opportunities to give it a go the first time. No. What you do is you think about ways every day that you can step up and find your voice, right? You can speak in public. No podium required. So what does that look like? Well, think about it. Most of the time we're just kind of going around on autopilot, right? We got things to do, to-do lists. I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to groceries, I got to hit the mailbox. I have to go drop the kids off at school. I have to da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We don't think about it too much. Well, first, I invite you to get really present with all those activities and look for them as opportunities to connect with human beings, because that's all public speaking is. So let's say that you're in line at the grocery store and you look at the cashier, who typically looks quite bored, unless you're at Trader Joe's and they happen to be a little more engaged. But try striking up a conversation. I don't care if you talk about the weather. I don't care if you talk about the last holiday that just passed or what items are on sale. It doesn't matter what you talk about. I want you to, one, initiate the conversation. Public speaking is a contact sport, and the best is to just get in the game first. Initiate the conversation. I want you to think about the fact that you are going to make a conscious decision to start a conversation, look the person in the eye and say, hey, how are you today? Not just as, hey, how are you? Like that whole like that we do as Americans, just kind of, hi, how are you? I'm fine, kind of autopilot stuff. But really look and see how they are. Really look and see. Maybe they're having a really bad day and they want somebody to notice, or maybe they're having a really great day. They got some great personal news that's just sort of showing all over their face. Get very comfortable having casual conversation. Even high-stakes conversations always begin with a little chit-chat in the beginning. So to get very comfortable with little chit-chat is a very good thing, not a waste of time. This is a little side note. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but I had a very important interview with somebody, and I have to tell you, the meeting set off the immediate great tone when I walked into their office, and the first thing I did was I noticed this stunning photography on the walls. This is a true story. And I walked in, and I was so taken aback by the animals that were photographed that were stunning. They looked like they were on from safari, and I said, I'm sorry, these are just unbelievable. And I started to talk about them, and the gentleman that I was meeting with was so thrilled because apparently he was the photographer, and his passion work was in fact to go to Africa, and he did it twice a year, and he took these photographs, which literally between you and me could have been a National Geographic, and it was stunning. Guess what? It was a good way to start the meeting. Because I wasn't in my own head thinking about, oh, what I need to talk about and what I want to accomplish and me. I took all that attention and I put it on the other person. And that makes people feel good. It brings you on the same page. It starts you off with an energy that says, hey, I see you. And I really like what I see. That is great public speaking. Whenever I'm doing a speaking engagement and I'm in front of, 200, 300, 400 people, believe me, I am not off on the side, just preparing. No, I take the necessary time to prepare well in advance. So when I'm in the room, I'm connecting with people. I'm seeing people, I'm taking them in. I'm winning over that room early. You do this in everyday situations. So do it in the grocery store. Now, in the next couple of videos, I'm going to talk to you about other ways to get practice. One is giving a toast. No, you don't have to wait for your brother's wedding when all the eyes are on you, or, some other big event. You can look for ways to give a toast every day. Why not? Give a toast with your girlfriends in Starbucks and lift up your glass. Who cares? But making the intention to do that, it's the same muscle. You're practicing in everyday situations. One of the greatest ways to grow a business is networking. And we know this. Everything is networking. And I don't care if it's going to a networking event proper, or just looking in your contacts and having the confidence to say, hey, can you do me a favor? I'm ready to do X in my business, and I'm wondering if you might know of any amazing people to work with in your group that you might want to introduce me to. That's networking. And I used to be very shy about it, and I'm a people person, so that says a lot for me. But I used to be very no, I'm going to do it on my own. No, very silly concept. We are people. We naturally want to help other people. You asking is the same as you doing the same for somebody else, meaning it's a shared energy. Networking is just win-win for everyone, connecting people and resources. So these skills that I want you to think about are based in everyday opportunities to grow. Look for them. I bet there are 12 that present themselves to you each and every day. And the more you start to look for them, the more confident that you will get, the more that you will build and strengthen those muscles that you will need. So that when the big moment arises for you to step into the spotlight and get really out of your comfort zone, you'll be prepared.